We come not to trash the FBI, but to rescue the FBI from political capture. And it seems as though that political capture was really enhanced when Robert Mueller took a lot of the authority and power away from the field offices all over our country and centralized that power. Seems we don't see these abuses with the brave FBI agents like Ms. Parker, who I'm very grateful served my fellow Floridians in the Miami field office. Ms. Parker, if we got the decision-making more out of Washington, D.C. and into the hands of our field offices where we have so many patriotic and brave FBI officials, do you think we'd be able to escape this political capture that quite literally drove you out of the Bureau?
I think that's absolutely critical.
It seems as though that politics isn't out in the field offices. It's here in Washington, D.C., and that's precisely what we ought to deconstruct legislatively.
Here now with more, Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan, and Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz is with us. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Congressman Jordan, you know, we had an impeachment of a president over one hearsay whistleblower.
Yeah.
You said you've never seen anything like this in your life. Dozens and dozens of whistleblowers coming forward, not Republican or Democrat. What are they telling you?
No, you're exactly right, Sean. I think this is an important point. This is not Republicans. This is not conservatives. This is not Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan. This is dozens of FBI whistleblowers coming to talk to us. And they first came to talk to us while we were in the minority, where all we could do was begin to get the facts, begin to tell their story. And many of these individuals have been retaliated against. And they're good people, just like Nicole Parker and Thomas Baker, who testified today. The first one came for his deposition on Tuesday. The next one is Friday. The third one is next week. On Tuesday, we learned about what Sarah reported. 140 people come to the rally here in Washington, D.C., and they were supposed to be investigated because the Washington field office told the folks in Boston to investigate these people for simply coming to a political rally, for goodness sake. And thank goodness the folks in the field office, which Mr. Gaetz was just talking about, the folks in the field office says, no, we are not going to investigate people for exercising their First Amendment rights. And that's really what this is all about. So God bless the good people who you're right to talk about, and the folks in the FBI who were doing the good work, like those witnesses we had today. We are here to serve them, but make sure that the leadership is not going after the American people.
Chairman, let me ask you this, because Senator Grassley testified today that they acquired the authentic bank records that substantiated findings of their previous two reports, and that being that they financially have links between Hunter and James Biden to entities and individuals connected with the communist Chinese regime. We hear about a $1.5 billion deal with the Bank of China. We hear about a $5 million no-interest forgivable loan. We hear about a $100,000 shopping spree with a Chinese national. Is that all true, sir?
Well, we'll wait for their report. From Senator Johnson testified that their report is coming, their second report. We'll look forward to that. That's the kind of information that I know Chairman Comer on the Oversight Committee is looking to get. He's looking to get access to these suspicious activity reports that supposedly there are 150 of them that exist on the banking transactions and records from the Biden family business operation.
You know, Matt Gaetz, I liked your line when you said you're not here to trash the FBI, but rescue the FBI from political capture. After James Comey and now Christopher Wray, and I said when Christopher Wray became the FBI director, he has a duty to clean up the world's premier law enforcement agency. Clearly, he has failed in that task. My question is, can it be rescued, or do we need to rebuild a new FBI, one that can be trusted, one that doesn't take in political considerations, one that believes in equal justice and application of our laws?
Well, if we decentralize the power outside of Washington, D.C., I think we can vindicate the true and honorable and just purpose of the FBI without falling victim to political capture. And, Sean, it's every election. Before the 2016 campaign, an FBI lawyer changed evidence before a secret court. Before the 2018 campaign, the FBI was breathing life into the lying Steele dossier. Before the 2020 campaign, you saw the FBI doing everything they could to make you think that Trump was somehow a Russian agent or shaking down Vladimir Zelensky. And then before 2022, They raided Mar-a-Lago, all the while suppressing the information on the Hunter Biden laptop and suppressing anything that was derogatory to Joe Biden. And when we let the Democrats bring any human being on the planet Earth in to say that maybe the government isn't weaponized against our people, maybe Jim Jordan and I are wrong, they brought in a lobbyist, but not just any lobbyist, a lobbyist that was an Obama-era DOJ political appointee who now represents Google and Pfizer and George Soros as a paid influence peddler. Bringing in a lobbyist to try to dissuade us from our path to expose the weaponization of this government would be like bringing in Joe Biden to teach your comprehension and cognition class, or maybe Chris Christie to do your weight loss planning with you. It was ludicrous, and we deserve far better.
Exit question. Chairman, I'll ask you first. Was there a well-designed and orchestrated censorship campaign to influence the 2020 election? Is that a fact at this point?
Yeah, and I like the term that Professor Turley used, censorship by surrogate. Here's a fundamental question, Sean. Why is the FBI sending a list of accounts to Twitter and telling Twitter, we think these accounts, we think these tweets violate Twitter's terms of service? Why are they doing that? If that's not pressure, if that's not coercion to take down free speech, to take down political speech, I don't know what is. So I like that term, censorship by surrogate, because that's what took place, and we know that because of the Twitter files.
Matt Gaetz, do you agree censorship influenced the outcome of the 2020 election?
Undeniably on the laptop story alone, but we are just starting to learn all of the different features of shadow banning and trying to shape political thought for people in this country. I just want an FBI that goes and stops the bad guys from committing crimes and holds them accountable when they do, not an FBI and Department of Justice that's trying to shape the political thought of our fellow Americans. We can do that for ourselves. We can decide who we want to vote for without the FBI and the DOJ trying to manipulate the digital marketplace of ideas.
All right, Congressman Matt Gaetz, thank you. Chairman Jim Jordan, thank you. We appreciate it.